Hi, Patti. My
Hi.
name is Mikhail Zakharov, and it is very nice to meet you. Greetings
Nice to
from
meet you
Russia.
too.
And it is the film is wonderful. Thank you so much for the film.
Oh, I'm so glad you think so.
Диана, однажды ты обретешь все, о чем мечтаешь, и даже больше. И все будет иначе. Мир еще не готов к тому, что тебе предстоит совершить. Ты станешь легендой.
First question will be about the screenwriting process. I know that the film had a different team of screenwriters, and those were Jeff Jones, David Callahan, and yourself.
Yeah.
So I was wondering, how did you distribute the duties among yourselves?
It's so awesome the way we work. Okay, so I thought of the story, and I love Jeff Johns, and we love working together. So when Jeff was visiting the first movie, I pulled him in a corner and I said, okay, Jeff, here's the general layout of the story. And Jeff and I have such an easy back and forth that then he starts saying, nah, 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 and before we knew it, we knew what the whole story was. So then after we made the first movie, Jeff and I wrote like an 80-page treatment because we already knew so much. So we wrote this incredibly elaborate treatment, which was almost the length of the script, but still had a lot of things to be figured out. But I was doing a limited series and he had just sold a TV show. And so both of us were too busy. And so when they first announced the second movie, they actually pulled the release date up really much earlier. When it was originally slated to be in the fall, I was like, I didn't know how we were ever going to make that. So I said, I have no idea how we're going to pull this off because neither of us have time to actually sit and write the script. So Dave Callahan is one of my dear friends who's one of the greatest writers. And so we got him and he took our 80-page script and filled it out into a film. Into a feature, and then gave it back to Jeff Johns and Jeff Johns and I rewrote it. And then, and so we would just pass it to whomever had time to accomplish whatever it was. And it was just great. I mean, we all super respect each other on these movies. You're really too busy as the director to do it all by yourself. And so and I get so much from them. They're both great writers. So it was a wonderful, fun process.
Моя жизнь не такая, как может показаться. Все мы через что-то прошли.
Ты когда-нибудь любила?
Очень-очень давно. А ты?
И не один раз, да просто постоянно.
The film is set in the 80s, and this decade is very much in vogue right now with films like Atomic Blonde and Your Own, set in the 80s and inspired by the aesthetics. And I was wondering, what films did you draw inspiration from? I know it is obvious that you were inspired by Scarface, because Maxwell Lord's slogan, "You can have it all," has a lot in common with "The world is yours." But what else were you inspired by?
I think it was like a big mix. Superman has always been a big inspiration of mine, but so are all of the Spielberg movies and the Zemeckis movies. I feel like I miss those big pop, beautiful movies for everybody in the family, where is E.T. for kids or is it just a masterpiece of a film, And so I that's what I was really aiming for, a movie that you wouldn't put your finger on it as a superhero movie. It's a little of everything and it's a delight and a ride. And so we've kind of gone away from that. And so that was what I was trying to get in out there.
Добро пожаловать в будущее. Жизнь прекрасна, но может стать еще лучше. Почему нет? Нужно всего лишь захотеть.
And my last question is about Kristen Wiig. whom you cast in a different role, because the audience particularly knows her for her comedy roles.
Yeah.
And you've cast her in like against her type.
Yeah.
And we see her transformation throughout the film. So I was wondering, what was it like to direct her against her usual persona?
It was great. I mean, the truth is she's got it in her and she knows she has it in her. We all knew that she could do the beginning of the, you know, of the character. But she's also very smart and a great actress. And so it just made perfect. There was something about it that just felt so right. And it was amazing watching her. She was nervous that people wouldn't accept her in this role. And I said, we just can't think about that. We just have to do it. And she did, and we did. And boy, do I love her performance.
Представьте, что вы, наконец, получили все, о чем только мечтали.
Я спасу этих людей. Ты спасешь этот мир.
Стив.
Диана.
А теперь я получу то, что я хочу. Вот увидите.
Ты нужна нашему миру. И ты знаешь, что делать.
Нельзя построить хорошее на лжи. А величие совсем не то, что ты думаешь. Все это искусство. А это просто мусорка.
Это просто мусорка, да, точно.
Thank you so much, but I'm afraid we have to wrap it up. It was nice having you. Thank you again for the film.
So nice to meet you.
To sleep because it's night in Russia.
Good, I know. Thank you for staying up so late. I so appreciate it.